Today, we're going to discuss about quadratic inequalities. Now, because of the word inequalities, it is a quadratic with a symbol of inequality, greater than symbol, less than symbol, greater than or equal symbol, and less than or equal symbol. To start with, let us recall about linear inequalities. Let us have an example. X minus 3 greater than 0. Now the question is, how are we going to solve this kind of inequality? The answer is by applying the different properties of inequality, such as addition property of inequality, subtraction property of inequality, multiplication property of inequality, and so on and so forth. Now, in this kind of example, x minus 3 greater than 0, to simplify this inequality, we're going to apply addition property of inequality, and that is by adding both member of inequality by 3. So we have x minus 3 plus 3 greater than 0 plus 3. So the answer is x is greater than 3. Now the question is, what are the solution of the inequality? Now, to easily identify the solution of the inequality, we need to draw first a number line. Locate x is greater than 3 in a number line. Since the symbol of inequality is greater than, so meaning we're going to represent now x is greater than 3 in the number line using an open circle, meaning that 3 is not included in the solution. So let us now draw a number line. After we draw a number line, then write the number designated or denoted by a number line starting from 0, the origin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Now, on the number line, you may observe that x minus 3 greater than 0 is located in number 3. So meaning that number 3 is not included in the solution because of an open circle. So what are the solution of the inequality? So you may observe that the number greater than 3 are the solution, such as 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth. So let us now proceed to the example of quadratic inequalities. 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 is less than 0. Now the question is, how to solve this kind of inequalities? First, transform the given inequality into quadratic equation, and that is x squared minus 2x minus 3 equals 0. And then, determine what is the factor of that equation. And the factor is the quantity of x minus 3 times the quantity of x plus 1 equals 0. Then apply the zero factor theorem, so it becomes x minus 3 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0. And since x minus 3 equals 0 and x plus 1 equals 0 are example of linear equations, so therefore x minus 3 equals 0 become 3 and x plus 1 equals 0 become negative 1. 3 and negative 1 is what we called the critical point of the inequality 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 less than 0. After we determine the critical point of the inequality 2x squared minus 4x minus 6 less than 0, so this time we're going to write again the factor, which is x minus 3 times the quantity of x plus 1, but this time not equal to 0, and we're going to use now less than 0. And the same in linear inequalities, we're going to draw a number line. Write the number designated or denoted by a number line, and then after that you're going to locate now the critical point on the number line, which is negative 1 and the other one is 3. Now let us now make a test point. Let us now use negative 2 because we all know that negative 2 is less than negative 1. Let us substitute it to the original equation or to the factor less than 0. So it becomes now negative 2 minus 3 times the quantity of negative 2 plus 1 less than 0. Now, what is negative 2 minus 3? Of course, the answer is negative 5 times negative 1 less than 0. Now, what is negative 5 times negative 1 less than 0? Of course, the answer is 5 less than 0. And we all know that 5 is greater than 0, so it means false. So, negative 2 is not included in the solution of the inequality. Now, how about a number greater than 3? Let us now use 4. Now substitute 8 to the factor less than 0. So it becomes now 4 minus 3 times the quantity of 4 plus 1 less than 0. Now what is 4 minus 3? Of course the answer is 1 times 5 less than 0 and 1 times 5 less than 0. And we all know that 5 is greater than 0, so it falls. It means 4 is not the solution of the inequality. Now how about the number between the critical point? Let us now use 0 as the value of x. Substitute 8. So it becomes now 0 minus 3 times the quantity of 0 plus 1 less than 0. Now what is 0 minus 3? Of course the answer is negative 3. And 0 plus 1, of course the answer is 1. So we come negative 3 times 1 less than 0. And what is negative 3 times 1? So the answer is negative 3 less than 0. And we all know that negative 3 is less than 0. So it means 0 is included in the solution. Now what is the solution of the inequality? So the answer is negative 1 less than x but less than 3, or it is also the same in integral notation, negative 1 and 3. So we use now a parenthesis, meaning negative 1 and 3 is not included in the solution, but the number between negative 1 and 3 are the solution of the inequality. Let us now proceed to the next example. X squared minus 8x plus 15 greater than 0. Now, the same in the last example, we're going to rewrite this inequality into quadratic equation. The objective is to write the factor of the equation. And of course, the factor of x squared minus 8x plus 15 equals 0 is the quantity of x minus 3 times the quantity of x minus 5 equals 0. Now, by applying the zero factor property, so it becomes x minus 3 equals 0 and x minus 5 equals 0. Now, both are example of linear equation. So, what is the value of x minus 3 equals 0? So, the answer is x equals 3 and x minus 5 equals 0 become x equals 5. Now, 3 and 5 is what we call the critical point of the inequality x squared minus 8x plus 15 greater than 0. After we determine the critical point of the inequality x squared minus 8x plus 15 greater than 0, so this time we're going to write again the factor of the inequality, which is x minus 3 times the quantity of x minus 5 greater than 0. And then after that, of course, we're going to draw a number line. Write the designated value denoted by a number line, and then after that we're going to locate now the critical point, which is 3 and the other one is 5. Then we're going to make now a test point. Now let's now use 0 as the value of x. Why? Because 0 is less than 3. Substitute 8 to the inequality, so it becomes now the quantity of 0 minus 3 times the quantity of 2 minus 1 greater than 0. Now, what is 0 minus 3? Of course, the answer is negative 3. And what is negative 2 minus 1? The answer is negative 3. So, therefore, negative 3 times negative 3 greater than 0. Of course, the answer is 9 greater than 0. And we all know that 9 is greater than 0. So, it means that 0 is the solution of the inequality. Then how about if x equals 6? Why? Because 6 is greater than 5. Let's now check if 6 is also the solution of the inequality. Replace 8 to the original inequality. So it becomes now the quantity of 6 minus 3 times the quantity of 6 minus 5 greater than 0. Now what is 6 minus 3? Of course, the answer is 3. What is 6 minus 5? The answer is 1. Then, what is 3 times 1? Of course, the answer is 3 is greater than 0. And we all know that 3 is greater than 0, so it means that 6 is one of the solution of the inequality. Then, how about the number between the critical point. Let us now use x equals 4 because 4 is between 3 and 5. Let us replace 8 to the inequality. Should become now 4 minus 3 times the quantity of 4 minus 5 greater than 0. Now what is 4 minus 3? Of course the answer is 1. And what is 4 times negative 5? The answer is negative 1. So what is 1 times negative 1 greater than 0? So the answer is negative 1 greater than 0. And we all know that negative 1 is less than 0. So it means that it is not the solution of the inequality. So what are the solution of the inequality x squared minus 8x plus 15 greater than 0? Since 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4 is the solution of the inequality. So it means that all number less than 3 is the solution of the inequality. So it means x is less than 3 or x is greater than 5. Why? Because 6, 7, 8 is the solution of the inequality, or it is the same as the union of negative infinity and 3 and 5 and positive infinity. We use now parentheses beside 3 and 5, meaning 3 and 5 is not included in the solution. Once again, how to solve quadratic inequalities. First, change quadratic inequalities into quadratic equation. Second, apply zero-factor property and find the critical point of the quadratic inequality. Third, locate the critical point on the number line. Fourth, choose a test point and check if the result satisfies to the inequalities. Again, write the solution of the inequalities and check the solution if possible. Thank you for watching. Keep safe and God bless everyone.